She's off to a galaxy far, far away. Do you get it? I'm talking about AHSOKA episode 6, because that's the title of the episode. So, spoiler warning, and now I'm going to do the intro bit. So first of all, thanks for taking the time to choose to watch this video. I really appreciate it, and if you haven't done it already, subscribe to the channel, and if you make it all the way to the end, leave a like as well. So it's an AHSOKA light AHSOKA episode this week, instead picking up with the bad guys in their whole thing. And this episode delivers bad guys. The big one, Thrawn.
What was first just a dream has become a frightening reality.
His henchman, Enoch, and the other big one is the Night Sisters from the animated show.
You heard our call to you in the dream.
And this episode looks brilliant this week. It's by far the most gorgeous looking episode of AHSOKA, and definitely cinematic. There's some fantastic music, the score is brilliant, and there's some great VFX shots. I think it's never looked better. But let's get into it. So after our trip into the world between worlds, AHSOKA and Huyang were off to chase Morgan, Baylon and Sabine. You get the idea. And we see how the Purrgils travel as Huyang and AHSOKA discuss it, and as I said, it looks amazing. AHSOKA tells him about the fact she knows Sabine went willingly with the bad guys, and talks to him about her lack of training with Sabine in order for her to make the right choice. And remember, Sabine did leave with the bad guys by choice. And then Huyang decides to distract her by telling her a story, and...
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
What he said, I said? I said.
Yeah, he says it. I can see a lot of people in the Star Wars fandom absolutely loving this, and I can see people absolutely hating it. But anyway, let's not get into that. Sabine wakes up a prisoner and Baylon pays her a visit. They've got a bit of a back and forth, but he's still not giving much away. He goes to the bridge and Morgan isn't happy with the deal that he made with Sabine to find Ezra. They drop out of hyperspace to a ringed planet that's the home of the Night Sisters. So it turns out that the witches used to travel between galaxies using the whales, and then this is where the whales come to die. So pretty grim. They receive a signal from the planet and go and get Sabine and head down. And once they land, they find the Night Sisters in live action. They've been featured in the animated shows. So, like a lot of characters in this, maybe you might not get it and you maybe should have watched the cartoons. What do you think? Should you?
Welcome, child of Dathomir. You do our ancestors credit.
What an idiot! Oh, what a loser!
It's the Night Sisters who called Morgan as Thrawn told them that she would be on her way.
Your visions guided me across the stars.
And of course, he's coming too. They sense Sabine's a Jedi, and this really freaks them out. They imprison her in this weird orb device, so I guess this is Force magic, or at least a version of it. And these girls don't like the Jedi at all. But they seem to ignore Baylon though, and he seems a bit worried as this is all legend to him.
This is a land of dreams and madness.
He knows of this place through history. And speaking of history, he talks a lot about his past as a Jedi, that he's come to terms with a massacre, that it's all a sort of cycle or a pattern with the rise and fall, the Jedi, the Empire, the New Republic. You get the idea. He wants to change something and change the game and end the cycle, so it sounds like the man wants himself an empire, or even a First Order. Think about that. Anyway, the best scene of the episode is when Thrawn's ship shows up, and what a shot! Still battle damaged from Lothal at the end of Rebels. Again, you should have watched the cartoons. The music and the score here is absolutely spot on. It all felt very Dune-like, and this new region of space is all a little bit creepy and very appropriate. He's got an army of stormtroopers on board the ship, and they're all in battle-damaged gear that's sort of welded together like Kylo Ren's helmet in The Last Skywalker. And we meet his main henchman Enoch, who's got a sort of weird gold stormtrooper mask, and if you believe the rumours, these guys are zombies. But anyway, he's finally here, and what an intro. He thanks the Night Sisters and Morgan and introduces Enoch, and then they hand over some cargo. Now, they don't really mention this again, but you see it in the background of a few scenes. And is it me, or does that cargo look like it could contain people? We also find out that Thrawn knows Baylon from the Clone Wars, but he's more interested in Sabine. Because, you know, again, Rebels, you should have watched the cartoon.
You're getting tough. Oh, you're really taking out all your frustrations down here.
So the two have a bit of a standoff, and Thrawn honours the deal that she made with Baylon and lets her go to look for Ezra. So we're getting into side quest territory here. Oh my god, did we miss you in a Star Wars show? But there's a catch. Thrawn sends Baylon and Shin after her, so it looks like he wants them both dead, kind of. And this is where it gets kind of Game of Thronesy for Sabine. I mean, this world has a certain familiar look to it, right? Anyway, it gets very Empire Strikes Back for Sabine, with callbacks to Luke getting knocked off his Banfa, and she's ambushed by some faceless guys because, well, she needs to use the lightsaber. And man, we're firmly in side quest territory here. How does it feel? Does it feel good? It definitely feels familiar.
Well, I can't say that felt good, because obviously it felt terrible, but...
But anyway, she meets an adorable marketing opportunity that's not Baby Yoda, and this points her in the direction of Ezra, so it gets a little bit more Lord of the Rings rather than Game of Thrones. And you've got to wonder, with these shows and this show at this point, just beyond the halfway point, can you afford to waste this much time, or is it all just padding? I'm really interested what you guys think on that, so let me know in the comments below. Because they really draw this all out, up until the point that Ezra appears. So the lead in Rebels is now the first side quest completed in AHSOKA. And it's not the Ezra vibe that I was expecting, but I liked it. He's gone all spiritual from the look of it. But hey, big reunion. And again, I've got to wonder, was there any payoff if you didn't watch the Rebels show? Like seriously, how much would you have invested in these two characters if you didn't watch 75 episodes of an animated show?
Why don't you start right now and get the fuck out of here?
And I thought the whole reunion was a bit meh, to be honest. But side quest completed, so I guess they need to go and face the big boss. And speaking of which, Thrawn's preparing some bad guy stuff and just wants to get home. He's not really caring about anything else. And the Night Sisters know that AHSOKA is coming, so Thrawn's expecting her. And if you know Thrawn, again, you need to watch the animated shows, you know that he's a man with a plan. He wants to know everything about her before he comes up with a plan, but that's the plan in the meantime, and he wants to use the Night Sisters as well. We do get a little bit more explanation on Baylon and why he might be there as well. He also tells Shin that he didn't train her to be a Jedi, he trained her to be more. And when he talks about being a Jedi, he doesn't sort of romanticise it at all. He's definitely not got the sort of longing for the old days. But he does wonder why the Night Sisters want to leave this region of space, and that maybe there's something bigger and badder out there. And you can tell that he's kind of playing the field, he isn't committing to one side or the other. But yeah, I just wonder if they're setting him up to start the First Order, or set him up for, you know, the setup for whatever was going on with Palpatine and the Rise of Skywalker. And that's pretty much where the show ends. Thrawn and Ezra both show up, so a huge episode for hardcore Star Wars fans. And I loved Thrawn, definitely worth the wait, and he had a lot more screen time than I expected in this episode. But, as I mentioned, it's fallen into the familiar Star Wars trope of not having the main character in it, and everything that wasn't Thrawn or Baylon related in this was pretty dull for me. We finally get some backstory on Baylon, and it's kind of what I expected, to be honest. I'm sure there's going to be more to it, but man, are they dragging this out. And the whole Sabine plot for me, although it resulted in Ezra, it felt very dragged out as well. Just think, what else could we have gotten in this episode? Well, more of anything else really, or anyone else doing anything else. But we did get a heap of cool new characters, and the show is definitely taking a new feel now they're in this mysterious region of space. And although it also fell back into the side quest territory trap that it avoided for 5 episodes, I did feel a little bit let down the fact that they added this and that some of the scenes felt drawn out. Thrawn's going to dominate most of the conversation about this episode, and quite rightly so, but you have to look at the rest of it and what's going on around them and ask, shouldn't they be doing more? So yeah, although I really hated on this episode, I at least liked half of it. And again, it looked absolutely stunning, by far the best one we've had. It's just a shame that they're falling into these familiar and sort of convenient Star Wars tropes that for me takes something a little bit away from the show. Up until this point, it did feel like it was going in a fresh, unique direction, and the second that they take us to this new region of space, they fall back on old story plot lines. But certainly not my least favourite so far. I just would have liked a little bit more Hugh Yang, but hey, he said the thing.
A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away.
But as always, I want to know what you guys think, so let me know in the comments below, and if you've made it all this way, leave a like as well. You know, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, think about that, it doesn't cost you anything. I'm going to be posting more videos all the time and covering the rest of AHSOKA. I've still got a few Foundation videos left in me, and I'm going to be doing a stream this Sunday as well to cap off Season 2. So if you're a Foundation fan, make sure that you don't miss it, and as always, my name's Al, thanks for watching.